Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Monday, the 4th of May. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from, transfer into your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com. It's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, we've got a bit of a retrace overnight. It's not a great deal. It looks like a little bull flag, but we do have a couple of sell signals. We've got a weak sell, 60-minute sell signal, which is fixed on NQ. Got a full 60-minute sell signal, which is fixed on RTY. Nothing on YM or DAX or ESTX, but on Nikkei, we've got a 60-minute buy signal, which has now reached the possible near miss target. So we could see a bit of retracement today. We've got labor numbers coming later this week, but I think, not as confidently as I did about 10 days ago, but I think that we're likely to go at least a bit higher, and I'm still looking for the targets I gave in my post about 11 days ago, and those targets were on SPX, ideally get to this trend line here, which I've now gotten about the 73.70 area, and on Qs, I've got this trend line here, which I mistakenly gave at 680 there, but it's actually now at about 692. I'm liking those targets, and I think the market is looking detached enough from reality at the moment that I think they are potentially doable. So we shall see. Let's have a look at the bigger picture charts on the others. In terms of the daily charts, we're not likely to reach the daily middle band at the moment because obviously we've come a long way and the bands are running away to the upside. So even the high on Friday after this very strong move was 100 handles below the daily upper band, which is quite a long distance. We do have daily negative divergence now. We've got an RSI 5 sell signal fixed. That's not being... that will is potentially just getting stronger, but I'm thinking those will play out, but we can go higher first. But of course, we could just turn at any time. On the hourly chart, no current negative divergence. On the 15-minute chart, I've got a potential trend line here. We may lose that this morning, but I'm basically looking for a move up that gives us a trend line and gives us a potential to go to form a wedge, ideally on SPX or Qs. In terms of the Qs, again, not so much, but the daily upper band is a significant distance away. I've got that at 689. That is actually slightly below the target at about the 692 area. In the hourly, we've got also a weak RSI 5 sell signal fixed there, and a possible full-size one is brewing. In terms of the hourly chart, we've still got an RSI 14 sell signal fixed. That's mainly because we've not really seen much of a retracement in the last couple of weeks. 15-minute chart, we've got a weak RSI 14 sell signal fixed at the on Friday afternoon, and we've got a potential wedge forming here. I've drawn in a couple of trend lines. We haven't reached those yet. In terms of dia, we've got a weak RSI 5 sell signal fixed, and we're not going to get a full-size one because we've gone well below the 50 level on this retrace. We had a nice bull flag that has gone back and it's reached the target. Now, what I would say here is that mainly the case for the upside in terms of structure rests on SPX and the Qs. Here on dia, we had a nice looking channel that broke down, nice flag. We retested the high. This is... If I was just looking at dia and IWM here, I'd be saying that we could be topping out here, and we could actually be topping out here. But I am thinking that I'm leaning towards this going a bit higher, and on dia, I would like to see a retest of the all-time high, which is here at 503.37. All right, looking at IWM. IWM on the daily chart, we've got a possible RSI 14 sell signal brewing now. Nothing on the RSI 5, but we had a bear flag there too, and the high on Friday was at 279.81, and that was marginally above. It was 2 ticks above the previous all-time high, which is a 279.79. So we had a not bad looking rising wedge on the move up. This could be a double top. So again, if it wasn't for SPX and the Qs, I'd be wondering about a larger retracement here, and it's possible we could see that anyway. No market goes up in a straight line. And even if we are going higher, we could see a pullback before we do so. DAX has broken up, looks like, from a bull flag, and I'm leaning towards seeing a retest of 24.8k. Not really looking higher than that. On Nikkei, we could be topping out here, and we've got an RSI 5 sell signal, which is fixed and reconfirmed on the higher high. We shall see how that goes. All right, great. Let's have a look at DX. Now, DX was rising strongly when oil was rising strongly, less so as oil's been retesting the highs recently. I've got a very nice looking bullish setup here. I've been looking at it for a while. Is it going to make target? I don't know. It looks like a bit of a long shot, but if the oil crisis develops as I'm expecting it to do, that will give an opening for it to make target at a retest of 114 and 70 and change, and that will give an opening to do that, which may be taken. We shall see. Not seeing an awful lot on the other currencies really. USD hasn't made the IHS target yet and may not. GBP/USD, potential level top here now. 60-minute sell signal reached possible near this target. We've got a buy signal fixed on USD JPY and a potential level bottom here. This looked like government intervention. I think that's what it was. But of course, in the absence of that, there's a potential level bottom here, and we could just head up to a target at about the 159.3 area, I think. USD CAD. Nice downtrend here. This is too large now to be a bull flag. Australian dollar, possible level top. NZ, possible level top. We will see how it goes. In terms of bonds, I'm leaning on the bigger picture quite significantly short on bonds. And at the moment, I think we're on the way back to a retest of the low. I think this was a flag which is broken down with a target at that retest. We had a double bottom that's broken up. That's still technically got a target in the 115.26 area, but all the signals that I was looking at on the daily chart pretty much made target. And I'm not really seeing much movement to the upside. I think the obvious next stage is to resume the downtrend. If the oil crisis plays out as I'm expecting it to, then I would very much expect it to resume the downtrend. On ZN, this is actually looks very much like a bear flag, which is broken down with a target at a retest this low here in the 109.27 area. So we'll see how that develops. Okay. Brent, we had a 60-minute sell signal that's reached the possible near miss target, and we're coming back up into retesting the highs. We're slightly off the highs. We get a lot of announcements from the Trump administration, none of which seem to mean anything, but they do seem to move the market quite a lot. In terms of CL, we had a sell signal there that made the full target. We're pretty close to the crisis highs here on the June contract, so we shall see. On HO, we made new crisis highs last week. This looks like a bull flag forming at the moment, and a weak 60-minute buy signal is fixed on RBOB. We've got a 60-minute sell signal which has reached the possible near miss target, and we are at crisis highs, or at least we made those overnight. NG, 60-minute sell signal is fixed. Bigger picture, I'm thinking we might see a decent rally, more decent rally here, but it might be that this is all we're going to get. Waiting to see what happens when we retest this low, as we're probably going to, and see whether we go lower. In terms of precious metals, I'm still in two minds here about whether or not when oil prices go up considerably, which I'm pretty certain they're likely to. When that happens, how is gold going to react? So far in the crisis, it fell when the crisis was inversely correlated. I'm not convinced that was really a true correlation. I think that might just have been because we were forming a bull flag on oil, on gold, but we have yet to see how that's going to develop. We do have an IHS which is broken up with a target in the 51.11 area. We've got a double top which is broken down, hey Doug, with a target in the 43.30 to 43.60 area, but at the moment gold is just trading sideways. SI, this kind of looks like a bear flag which is broken down with a target at a retest to the low, and I'm wondering whether we might see that. Palladium kind of looks like a bear flag, but not, or a triangle, but not of any particularly high quality, unless, hang on a second, I'm just checking something. Nah, still not really of high quality. I'm thinking this could be a bearish triangle. Platinum, this looks like a bear flag that has broken down. These could all potentially be triangles, of course, and this would explain the large amount of sideways action. On HG, HG overnight made the double top target in the 5.844 area, so I think this could be a bull flag. When equities turn, I'm expecting this to go down, but equities have not really meaningfully turned yet. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture ones on the other commodities. So we've got KC, which still looks like an overall bear flag. SB, which is heading towards the IHS target in the 1520 area. On CC, this still very much looks like a bear flag, but I'm interested to see that we are testing bear flag resistance. If that breaks up, this bear flag obviously could be failing, so which would surprise me, but we shall see. I don't think cocoa is affected really by the urea shortage from the Strait of Hormuz closure, but I could be mistaken. We will see. CT has broken up from a double bottom with a target which is still higher. Lumber maybe resuming the downtrend here. We had this spike down, but it was then given back pretty quickly. Week 6 minute buy signal is fixed, which hasn't made target yet. On ZW, this has broken up from a double bottom there too. We haven't yet broken up from the double bottom on corn and the possible IHS forming on soy, but I think there's a pretty good chance that they're going to do that and make those big targets. I was talking about that on the bigger picture yesterday. Soybean oil has been making new highs, so this has been doing what I was expecting soy to do, and I'm still expecting soy to do. Live cattle resumed the uptrend, seeing a little bit of a pullback here, but nothing to suggest this isn't going to be overall trending higher. On HE, we've almost retested the low here, and we could be forming a double bottom to go higher. That would be what I would prefer to see. If we go much lower than this, having reached the 61.8% decline, retracement of the previous move up, then at that stage I'd be pretty much writing this off as a potential overall bull flag. All right, great. Let's have a quick look at questions. They're interesting, but not an awful, not that important, I don't think. I've not found the performance on these to be awesome. I'm mainly looking at the RSI divergences, and we do have some decent stuff on the daily charts. But what I'm also looking at is the structure on the SPX and Qs charts, and those don't look as though they're complete yet. And normally that means we'll go higher. Obviously, we got a lot going on in the background, but equally we are in obviously in a strong move based on an awful lot of optimism about what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz. That can last a little longer as far as I'm concerned. And if so, we'll likely go at least somewhat higher on SPX and Qs. As I was saying on the others, though, really, if it wasn't for SPX and Qs, I'd be seeing this as a potential topping area. And of course, it could be. We shall see. All right, great. In that case, I think that's a wrap. Everyone take care, and I will catch you guys again tomorrow. Cheers.